I just got bitten by a bull ant. Big bull ant about this long, big red bull ant. And they really sting, and prompted me to share about a conversation that I've been having over the last week, also with a friend who has been trying to open a relationship with her mum and putting the love out there, but not getting anything back, getting closed responses. And, you know, it's a difficult situation when you're feeling unacknowledged by somebody, or even worse, getting some sand thrown in your face and having a kind of a bitter response from people when you want to be open-hearted and connect. And it's like, how do you do that? How do you keep your heart open when it hurts? And this bull ant, it hurt. And a few years ago, I would have really been suffering, but having learnt to breathe and be present in my body and work with the sensations, it actually wasn't all that bad. It was a bit like a splinter. And, you know, my relationship to the bull ant that bit me, or, you know, did I squash it? No, just flicked it off, because the bull ant's just being a bull ant, right? And I must have been in his territory. And so I just thought, it's an interesting analogy, isn't it, between the two? It's like, when people bite us, how do we respond to that? Do we bite back? Do we become aggressive? Do we become the same as them? Or can we practice keeping our heart open, which is really the way to healing and to peace and to transforming the world? I think that so often we just retaliate, knee-jerk reaction, and that's going to happen, and kindness to us when we do that as well. It's permission to be human. But, you know, ideally what we want to do is be the person that we want to be and stay true to our own values, which, you know, for most of us is we want to be kind and caring and loving and not become a reaction to somebody else. And so the key is to allow ourselves to feel the hurt, to let it come in without reacting to it, you know, just to breathe it in. And maybe, you know, you feel distant from the person or separate from them, maybe misunderstood, maybe even unfairly judged, you know. And then the work really is, how do we stay in relationship with ourselves when we feel like that? When we feel alone, when we feel separate, when we feel even victimized by somebody, do we just rise above it and pretend it didn't happen and I'm a man, I can cope with this? Or do we just allow it to come in? And that's where I would suggest. Or the other option is, do we react to them, you know? And so in the middle, there's a place of allowing ourselves to feel hurt by how people treat us and honoring that hurt, but not needing to react to it, not needing to snap back, but breathing that hurt in and practicing keeping our heart open. And this lady, I've been having these conversations, text conversations over the last week about this relationship with her mum. And then last night she told me that her mum told her, texted her at least, that she loved her, which is the first time she'd heard that for a very, very long time. And so the amazing breakthrough. And we were chatting about, how do you stay open in that kind of limbo space? And she did. And I think that the key in relationships where they're difficult like that, whether it's with your mum, your dad, your partner, your children, that have closed off from you, the part that really hurts us, I've found, is hoping that things are going to change and then constantly getting let down on our expectations when it doesn't change, right? And the hook that keeps us in the hurt is actually hoping to finally get through. And the irony is that when we let go of that hope and we just accept that this is the nature of the relationship for the moment, we actually find peace in ourselves and we unhook the entanglement in that relationship. And that's where change can happen from, in miraculous ways, like this lady had experienced just this week, yesterday in fact, with her mum. She let go of the hope of getting her mum to acknowledge her in a way that she wanted. And ironically, when she did, her mum's come around and given her what she really wanted. So that's a beautiful story and a practice for all of us. And, you know, the practice of staying with the bite, you know, not pretending it didn't happen, not reacting to it, but actually practicing keeping our heart open is the way to create a beautiful, connected, loving world. We see, you know, like in the Middle East, one country or race of people hurt the other, and then the others hurt them back, and then they killed more people back, and then more people back, and just more violence on more violence. How do you put an end to that? At some point in time, we've got to stop and be willing to feel the pain that we feel undefendedly, open-heartedly, welcome it in, and just allow it to wash through us until we end up in a peaceful, loving place. So good luck with that. Permission to fail, permission to react, permission to be tough, to ignore it, to brush it off. But it's a practice, you know, and it takes consciousness, it takes application, discipline to be able to do this. So, but it's the pathway to peace and happiness and creating a world that we love. So all the best. I look forward to hearing any questions or comments in the chat below. Let me know what you think. Lots of love.